Hey everybody, it's your old pal Dave J from New York City, songwriter, performer, storyteller, characters, and welcome to another installment of Dave J Tuesday. Hey, welcome. Hey, DMD. Welcome to the proceedings. Glad to have you here. How are you doing? Thinking of you and hoping that things are going well, and that everybody out there is feeling well. And speaking of everybody out there, I mean, who are you people, huh? And I mean that in the most positive light, of course. Please do let me know who you are, where you are, what you're made of. Are you man or are you mouse? I know. Are you woman or you man or you mouse? Man's short for human. Can we just... Thank you. Okay, and do let me know if you are mouse. Please do elaborate. I'd like to know. All in the comments section below. I welcome you back. This is our second episode of Dave J Tuesday on the Tuesday nights, Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock. That's strike that, reverse it, if you know what I mean. And DMD says, hi, Dave and all. Welcome you all, and thank you for welcoming everybody. Rob Kalishman is here saying, hi, Deb and Dave J. Gerstein. All right, we're all chiming in now. He is indeed mouse, Rob says, and well, we would like some elaboration on that because it's fun and exciting for all to find out more about the life of a mouse. Yes, it could be figurative, and that would even be more exciting to hear about. But we have so much planned for tonight. I like to check in with everybody at the beginning of my show, as you may know, and I have to be honest, I'm not feeling so hot all day long. The stomach. I know, this is the year Fink beats the stomach, but no, that's not what's going on here. This is no meatballs. In fact, you start to think COVID, that's it. Then you look up all the symptoms and you realize, wait a second, paper cut, that's a symptom? There's a paper cut, there's a symptom for COVID-19? You find that there are a myriad of symptoms. Myriad, word of the day.
Word of the day.
Got to work those in. In any case, so I haven't been feeling so hot, and I'm sure just the stress of this whole crapdemic that's been going on for 6 months now or more. Beetle Mike is here though, and he's probably feeling good. Let's read what he says. Hey, Dave J. Beetle Mike here. Yeah. Listening to the big O's. The big O's, like the Orioles? What are the big O's? The big O's, you got it. Oh, you got it. Isn't that the traveling... That's, the big Roy Orbison. Now I'm catching on. You see, I'm not feeling well. I'll use that as my blanket excuse for anything I don't get. He says, just came from Rivers football practice. Well, I saw the post you had on Facebook earlier about his big run through the line there. He's a running back, folks. In any case, I do figure that possibly the stress of the COVID, and the stress it has on the home life, and those of you who are in a couplehood, you may know what I mean. It... takes a toll on the, you know what I'm saying, huh? The relations, huh? Yeah. Okay, well, enough of the shtick. But I have a lot to get to. Among them, I'd like to start with the program notes. There are a few program notes. This is a new program of sorts, and we're still trying to work out some things. And I love that you're all greeting each other in the comments. I think that's great. And among the program notes, it starts with a conversation I had a few days ago with a mentor and buddy of mine, a fellow by the name of Tone Tyne. This is what he looks like. Well, actually, this is what he looks like. But this is what he looks like. I may have mentioned to you before, my friend Tone had worked for Disney when they did Toy Story, and the little thing they used to do was model some of their characters in their films after some of the other animators, the other employees, and that's Tone was modeled right there for Woody from Toy Story, and that's the little inside rub. But Tone and I had a wonderful conversation. He's a fan of the show, and he's been very supportive, and he pointed out, you know, these talk shows that they do, they're really just 44 minutes in length. That's right, 44 minutes. I'm not going to choose to do 44 minutes because I'm a John Riggins fan, which of course I am. He was drafted by the Jets, if you didn't know. In any case, 44 minutes is what we're going to shoot for. And now I've got a lot of stuff planned here in the kitty, and we're going to get to it right away, straight away, without any delay and post haste and all that good stuff. Boy, I'm really not feeling entirely up to snuff. I'm feeling about like this much up to snuff. The snuff would be up about here. I think snuff gets about this high. So you'll forgive me if I daughter off. But in any case, I'm not going to daughter on the next production note. The next production note is to do with continuity. That's something I'd like to keep going as well. Continuity. And if you were here for the very first program, as I see my friends here certainly were, you will know, or you will be able to see if you go back and watch it. That's there on my Facebook page and also on my YouTube channel, Dave J from NYC. You will have seen the story behind how they booked old Dave J on The View. That's right, ABC TV's The View. But what I didn't get to last week is something that I'd like to do today, because there was a little extra footage, stuff, information, story. That's the word. Story that I didn't get to share last week due to time constraints. As always, you know, there's so little time. But this is a new segment, therefore, that I'm going to call Dave J Tuesday Postscript. There you go. So after appearing on The View, I thought, now, I've got to think crafty. I've got to think long-term. What can I do to maximize this opportunity? And I was recording, as some of you know, with my good buddy Len Monticello. Cello, I call him. And Lenny and I said, Len, I've got to record this song that I wrote for The View, and then I got to send it to them, and then maybe they'll use it. You see, the sad truth that I may not have mentioned in my story last week is, in order to enter the contest, I had to sign away the rights to the song. And so here the song appears a couple times on the national airwaves, and I don't get penny one. No, I tried actually after the fact, and I learned the sad truth, which was the sad truth, right? For something so sad, it puts a smile on my face. The sad trombone does. Well, in any case, let's get right to the Dave J Tuesday postscript. This is a song that I recorded with my aforementioned buddy Len Monticello to send to them. I sent it to them. I dropped it off to them. I delivered it. I handed it to a security guard. I got like 5 copies out to five different arenas, 5 different entrance points to try to get to The View. They didn't even acknowledge it. But what I did was I cut together from some of the video from last week, some of the video of my audition tape and my appearance on The View to the recorded song, because another programming note, I've discovered that Facebook has some very strict rules, and they don't want you playing any recorded music with a static shot. And as you have come to know, perhaps, while watching this program, I will share some stuff where I just have a title card for the song. Well, I guess that's a no-no with Facebook, and we want to avoid having any scuffle. I like the word scuffle. I don't mind getting in a few scuffles, verbal scuffles. I don't mind the verbal scuffle. In fact, it's a dance craze I used to really take part in. It was just in a small subsection of a smaller subsection of terrain. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Without further ado, enjoy the recorded song I did with Len for The View.
There's someone for everyone, this I already knew. But 5 someones who would have guessed they're the ladies from The View. I've got a hot date with the ladies from The View. A brand new romance shining through my TV tube. Blew out my birthday candles, 5 wishes came true. There, Barbara Starr, Meredith Joy, and Elizabeth too. I'd gone online is my courting plan. I've got a hot date with the ladies from the View. A brand new romance shining through my TV too. Throughout my birthday candles, 5 wishes came true. There, Barbie Star, Meredith, Joy, and Elizabeth too. Each morning I'm adoring the ladies take on life. They're the butter on my bread and the butter knife. Put a smile on my face to take away my strife. Now I've got to find a way to make the View my wife. I'm getting serious, I watch them every day. They think I'm delirious when they hear what I've got to say. Each moment I spend with them, my affection grows. Now I'm getting down on one knee 5 times to propose. Will you please take my hand? TV matrimony. We live happily ever after on our big screen Sony. I've got a hot date with the ladies from the View. A brand new romance shining through my TV too. Throughout my birthday candles, 5 wishes came true. There, Barbie Star, Meredith, Joy, and Elizabeth too. Introduce them to my folks, my parents love them too. Now they won't stop hounding me for little baby you. I love you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a little DJT postscript. I want to take the opportunity to welcome some others who I didn't see were here. Gina Mutone Jacobson and Jen Palecchio Lakowiak. Lyrical names indeed. Welcome. Glad to have you here to the Tuesday night festivities, and we're having some fun now, huh? Okay, well, plenty to say, plenty to do, plenty to show you, and we're going to do that again without much further delay. But another segment we worked out on the first episode last week of Dave J. Tuesday is a little something I like to call the Tuesday Tease.
Tuesday Teaser. Tuesday Teaser. Tuesday Teaser? Tuesday Teaser. Tuesday Teaser.
Boy, I don't think I'll get used to that. It's teaser, by the way, not tease. But what are you going to do? I guess the tease was that it's teaser. Ha-ha! See, there's always a way out of these things. In any case, what is the teaser? Well, later in September, I've teased this very thing last week, among other things, but I'm very excited that I'm going to share a bunch of stories that I have as I was an intern at Saturday Night Live back in 1989, and then I helped out at the 15th anniversary show right there the following year, and other run-ins with some of the people that worked there, as well as my dear friend Tom Schiller, who was the first writer hired for the original Saturday Night Lives, and he and I are friends to this day. I'm so delighted to say he and his lovely wife Jackie, and wishing them well, hoping they're well, and it was great. I will mention this a little further on with this tease, that there's a book. In college, we used to call it the Bible, because it's this book here. What camera shall I show this to? What camera are we going to? Oh, this one? Okay, right there. Yeah. Saturday Night, the backstage history of Saturday Night Live. Yes, this is the Bible. And we're very excited to share. What I was able to do was say to Tom Schiller, hey Tom, I read this thing about Belushi. Did that really happen like that? And he'd go, oh, well, the thing is, okay. So I got a gazillion stories to share, and perhaps next week, I'm not sure yet. I haven't finished working everything out. I've got so many different things I can go with. In fact, I think it might be a Dave J. Tuesday two-parter, a twos-parter, maybe I'll call it. We'll see. Okay, moving on with the show. One of the things, in fact, that I teased a little bit earlier today, if you saw the promo on Facebook, was that I'm going to share a little stuff about a few things about my family. What do you think of that? After all, you know what they say. They say if you know a man's family, well, then you know the man. Well, I don't know if they say that at all. I think I just made it up. But it sounds like something someone would say, right? I think it does. And so now I present a new feature called Dave J. Tuesday Family Tree.
My family tree. Family tree. We've all got one. Unfortunately, I'm all green thumbs. Though I'm not an arborist, you see. At least I'm not an arsonist to my family tree. My family tree.
Okay, so here we have it, and I like that idea. Gina Mutone Jacobson. Two for Tuesday. That's they do that at the radio stations, right? They play the 2 for Tuesday. You get two for the price of one. Radio's free, so they really getting you. But that's a whole other story. I appreciate the idea. Keep the ideas coming in the comments section below. We're going to have a feature, come heck or high water, where we go ahead and concentrate on the comments, and we're going to try to do it that way. We're going to try to really keep it formatted and neat and clean over there for you fine folks. But without further ado, the way I started to think about this family tree thing is, well, let's see. I don't have time to share everything about the whole tree. I mean, that's a gargantuan tree. Gargantuan word of the day.
Word of the day.
But anyway, I thought let's keep it bite size, if you will, and let's break it down to the Dave J. Tuesday family leaf.
Now where did I put that tree?
That's right. So that's a lot more accessible. Accessible, that's a good word of the day, but we're not going to keep going back to that thing. We just don't have time. In any case, I thought, well, gosh, I had to think about my family, and I've got a bunch of family members I can feature. Oh, watch out. Oh, boy. Now they'll be tuning in. Those family members, I mean. They wouldn't otherwise. They don't care about my career whatsoever. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because I've got my friends, and I've got family who care, but my mom and dad, for example, are here. Now, it would be a little too easy to go sharing about my mom and dad straight off the bat, as much as you know I love you, Mom and Dad, and God bless you. Hope you're feeling well. And we all know that we have the family like we're tight with, like Mom and Dad, and then, you know, on your family tree, you're just bound to have a family member. Oh, how do I put it?
Feed me, Dave J.
Yeah, that's what I meant. One of those. Well, okay. I guess the best way to start on my family tree or my family leaf would be to start with the furthest back in terms of history that I've got in terms of a family member, and that's why I really dug through the archives of the Gerstein family tree and discovered all the way back to the late 1800s. We actually had a Gerstein, a great-grand cousin, if I have the lineage correct. I don't know if there is such a thing, but you'll play along. And of course I'm talking about my great-grand cousin Cletus Gerstein. Yeah, we all love Cletus. You know, he was quite the Monica player. That's apostrophe Monica. That's right. In any case, I'm going to pull a switcheroo, a little surprise. You may be thinking, oh, what Gerstein? Maybe even an Eisner. If you know my family, that's my mom's side of the family. But no, you forget. I'm a married man. I've got a whole bunch of in-laws now that you're not even thinking of. That's right, and that's what today's family leaf is going to be about. After all, I have a niece, an 11-year-old niece, my wife Kumi and I, who lives in Tokyo. And I'd like to share Ichika, that's her name, Ichika's big talent. Now you'll notice the talent that she's not pointing out is her ability to speak English as an 11-year-old, but just in case you have a little trouble with a little of the accent, I've taken care of that, and you'll see what I mean. Enjoy this week's Family Leaf. It's Ichika.
like hair and have killer moves. At the karate tournament, I took part in when I was 10. I got fourth place and got the huge trophy. I also have 7 medals. They are all very precious. My goal is to become a black belt in karate. Since I started karate, I've been physically fit and more flexible. I used to cry a lot when I was in the first place. But now I have a heart of stone. Today I will backward kick. But don't be scared because I want her to. Us! Hey! I hope you enjoyed my video. See you next time. Bye.
Let's hear it for Ichika. Let's hear it for Ichika. Isn't that wonderful? What a wonderful niece we have there, ready to defend the needy on the streets. I tell you what, I think I might need a bodyguard myself. You know, I'm in New York City. It's getting crazy here. But let's not get into that right now because we have so much more planned. In fact, it's time to get to the meat and potatoes of the show. And of course, I'm referring to the segment we call Tuesday Tale. Oh, I think I stopped it a little early, but no matter because we've got plenty to get to. Today's Tuesday Tale entails a story of an acting gig that I did long ago. That's right, back in the year, what was it? 1996. By the way, thank you, DMD, for the kind applause for my niece. Isn't that wonderful? I'm so excited about that. That was so delightful. So, in 1996, what was going on in your lives in 1996? Let us know in the commenter section below. I really would like to know. We're going to be checking that right after this segment, so don't worry a bit. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you about this story, because 1996, let's see, 1995, I had this job as a billing manager at a medical practice, a private medical practice, and turns out that the doctor that I worked for was both bilking the IRS and the FBI. As soon as I got fired from that job for not playing ball, the FBI and the IRS contacted me, and they brought me down to headquarters, and they had a dossier this thick. But that's not what this story's about. But that would be a great. I'm going to have to do a feature, a Tuesday Tale, if you will, on my exploits in the medical field. But this is just a setup where I was in my life at the middle and end of 1995. This thing with the doctor happened at the end of August of 1995, and then I was on unemployment and started taking some acting gigs, whatever I could get, playing my solo acoustic music gigs, and I managed to book a gig. I probably got it through the Backstage newspaper that they put out every Thursday here in New York, and this was a SAG gig for IBM. Now, SAG stands for Screen Actors. Oh, Azoy Gesund. I don't know if you could hear that. My wife sneezed. God bless you, dear. Live, anything can happen. Gina Mutone Jacobson says, I love this story and I haven't even heard it yet. All right, is this the story you're talking about? Rob Kalishman's married. Oh, wait, I'm getting to the comments a little early. I have a whole thing for that. Anyway, to stick with what I'm doing, me, blather and digress? Ha! Okay, well, in any case, I'm going to tell you the story of how I got booked as a rock drummer by IBM. But first, let me set it up with giving you the name of this sequence. This segment will be called IBM, and So Do You. Well, okay. I have to give full credit. That's a derivative of a joke by Martin Mull, the great comedian. It was where I got the idea to present it that way, so I like to give full disclosure and full credit. The medical field story. Gina knows that story. I see. Well, I will save that for another show because I'm already now headlong into the IBM story. There's a great word, headlong. I love it. Anyway, so they booked me and other people to play this rock band, and it's for not what would be a commercial in your standard sense that you'd see on TV, but it's called an industrial commercial because it's just a commercial for the industry. It doesn't air on TV, but it gets put on this VHS videotape because after all it was 1996, and then they send it out to people, stores, places of interest for this new software called what was it called? It was called IBM OS Warp 2, and it had a lot of special features. It was early internet. I think the most interesting thing about this entire 9-minute piece, that don't worry, I've broken it down into several segments, 5 different segments for it to be bite-sized and digestible enough and for us to discuss. And I cut out a little bit of it too, so it's not quite 9 minutes. But in any case, is just viewing. We shot all around New York City, and they were driving us around in a limo because after all we were playing a successful rock band on their way up, and it was a lot of fun to do. We arrived very early in the morning somewhere in Times Square, and it was like a hollowed out, it was like a floor that didn't have anything on it. It was all concrete. Nothing had been built into this floor in this high-rise office building in Times Square. And we got there at like 7 in the morning, and they teased. I had long hair in those days. It was growing long, and because I've been out of work for several months, except for the temp stuff, and I was a mess when it came to temp stuff. Although this was medical temp stuff. Again, more on that in another episode. So they teased out my hair, almost 80s style. I mean, it was 1996. Well, without further ado, let's just start up the very first part of the very first part, and let me have you be introduced to the band.
I own the cleanest and highest tech limo in the city, and I manage my little rolling business with an IBM ThinkPad running OS2 Warp. This computing power comes in handy because I've had a lot of important people ride with me who need to stay in touch. Real road warriors, presidential candidates, intellectuals, and great artists. Today's different though. Rock and rollers.
Hey, Ted.
It's Fred.
Then Fred, what can you tell us about the internet? We're going to be so successful that our fans are going to want to follow us on our world tour. Maybe some people can download some graphics of my biceps.
If you're going to...
And now there's the end of the very first sequence to share because, oh my goodness, that's wonderful news. JPL, that's Jen Pilecchio-Lakoyak, became a mom in 1996. That's right, I cheated. I looked at the comments. I can't help myself. I've got to remain connected with you folks all throughout the proceedings as much as possible. It feels good to do so. In any case, so there you have it. This fella, he knows all about this OS2 Warp, and I don't remember having a conversation with that actor at all, by the way. The other actors, the band actors, we were all hanging out together. It's almost like what you hear when you're like hear the behind the scenes story of like Caddyshack. The caddies and all the cool kids hung out together, and or better example would be Animal House. The Animal House fraternity all hung out together during the shooting. Granted, this was only a one-day shoot for IBM, but it went all day and all night. And I can give you a little behind the scenes poop in terms of that, scoop and poop. Usually, if the dog poops, you should scoop it. But that's that's a whole other meaning. But in any case, you're going to follow with me, right? I'm sure you will. Okay. Well, in any case, no. It was a SAG gig, which means it's union, contract union, and I wasn't SAG, so they had to give me a special waiver so that they could allow me to be take part in this thing. And so what we did was, because it rained at some point in the day, they had to pay us extra for that. There's a rain penalty. And because they fed us later than I think it was 8 hours, we went till, I think we went from 7 in the morning till like 1 in the morning. Something crazy like that. And that's extra pay. It was a wonderful score. And it was a wonderful experience. As I said, these actors were fantastic. The woman who apparently dug Ricky Lake, isn't that a great old-fashioned reference? Remember that? Any Ricky Lake fans here? Please say so in the comments section below. She actually went to my college, Ricky Lake. No kidding. Scouts honor. And then she dropped out to become an actress and got her own talk show by this point. So we graduated in 1990, and she didn't graduate, and she went and got her own talk show. So good on her. In any case, without further ado, let's just get to the second segment, and I can tell you more, fill in the gaps, and so forth. Check it out.
If you're going to take on the world, you're going to need a lot of help. You need OS2 Warp from IBM. You get great connectivity, the best way to surf the internet, speech recognition, and the easiest and friendliest user interface on the planet. I know you guys are on a world tour, but you're in the USA now. Let's check it out, shall we? With OS2 Warp, we can surf the net, and I can do it without ever touching the keyboard through spoken commands. Watch this. Wake up, please. Switch to IBM Web Explorer. USA Today. Bottom. Weather. Go to sleep. Look at this. It's going to be hot, humid, and possibility of rain today. Oh well. Let's check out some of the other bands coming to town. Wake up, please. Spinal Tap. They're playing the same theater you guys are playing. Big time. Good stuff.
Oh no, I forgot something.
What is it now?
My clippers. My nail clippers. You know I can't go on. It's a jinx if I go on without clipping my nails.
Hey, I know just the place. Let's go.
Okay, well, I hope this is not boring the heck out of you, because it is, in fact, an industrial, and there's a lot of info. Again, I tried to cut out some of it to keep the story moving, but Beetle Mike says he was fly fishing and camping in the Smokies in 1996. Tell me, folks, what were you doing in 1996? I am dying to know. Hey, you know, I was noticing I'm wearing a jacket in this thing. I remember buying that jacket. It's got the cross things on it, and it was a zippered jacket, real lightweight. It was the summer. I believe this was the summer of 1996, incidentally, and I bought this jacket on West 8th Street. That's right, there were a whole row, right off of 6th Avenue going east, there were a whole row of shoe stores and a few clothing shops, real young, cool, hip. Remember, we were in 1996, goodness gracious, was I young then or what? Look at that punim, that means face in Yiddish. Very, very youthful indeed. But, well, I don't know, I remember loving that jacket. I don't know whatever became of it. It's a bummer that I don't have it anymore. Don't you feel that way about certain clothes? You think about all the clothes you've had in your life up to this point? Isn't that amazing? You're like, God, I loved that shirt. You see an old photo. Oh, I should do a whole segment on old clothes that I find in photos. Well, in any case, here's segment 3 of 5, IBM.
Do you have a light?
Oh, you shouldn't do that. It's not healthy, you know.
I know. It was just an excuse to ask you about my inability to access my Java application.
Oh, Java. Oh, that's real easy. With OS2 Warp, all you have to do is drag from a web page and drop on your desktop, and your Java application's ready to run.
I can do all that?
Oh, yes, and you can run OpenGL, Open32, and OpenDoc applications as well.
Where can I buy it?
Well, from your favorite software dealer. Oh, or you can look it up on the internet.
Did you really have to buy 6 pairs of silver-plated nail clippers?
Rock and roller image, man. Gotta maintain it. Everything in excess.
Does that include cleanliness?
Hey, Freddie, what was all that commotion out here anyway?
Oh, just one of your fans interested in OS2 Warp. Once his life changes, we'll have you to that autograph signing in no time.
is a cool graphical user interface.
Yeah, this is OS2 Warp. It's great looking and it's easy to use too. Let me show you. They're arranged in trays so I can do systems or networking or whatever I want to do. If I want to add a program to that bar, I drag it and drop it, and there it is.
What's going on, man?
Your fans, they're checking out OS2 Warp.
Oh, it's killer. We need it. Where can we buy it?
Any place software is sold.
You know, that's bringing back some great memories, I have to say. And I love your comment, Gina, that the guy, what's his name, Fred there, the limo driver, the chauffeur, I tried to say, the schlimo driver, Jews might say, he drives the schlimo! I don't know what I'm talking about. She says, he's a mix of Radar O'Reilly and Max Weinberg. Good call on that. Meanwhile, I'm looking at myself realizing I'm a mix, well, I'm just not even a mix. I'm like a red-headed VJ Mark Goodman from MTV, wasn't I? I looked a little like, I had the Mark Goodman do going on. Goodness gracious, indeed. Goodman gracious. Beetle Mike says, wish I had my Beetle boots from the 60s. You know, I had Beetle boots that I bought in Liverpool, and I got rid of them. They were so uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm sure your Beetle boots were fine. Did yours have legitimate Cuban heels? I don't know. In any case, let's just move along. I hope, again, this is not... that this is not losing you or boring you. For goodness sakes, that's the last thing I'd want. I should point out, though, I should have mentioned this in the program notes. I was very cognizant that after last week's bombastic program, I had prepared like mad for the very first episode, which was last Tuesday, and then I did the first episode, and I was very delighted with how it went and everything like that. And in this very book is where I learned about a concept called the second show blues. And it doesn't really refer to necessarily the show itself. It refers to the mind and the sort of state of mind you're in after you finish that first show. It's almost like an exhaustion letdown. You kind of get like an emotional dump. You're kind of wasted. And all week, I was like, I got to plan the next show. Kind of like figuratively like that. You know, I probably wasn't really doing that. But in any case, Beetle Mike thought it was funny, and I'm not sure which thing, but whatever it is, let me know in the comments section, or just keep them coming. Any comments you got. In any case, moving along to IBM Part 4 of 5. Here you are.
Man, I don't care. I've had dozens of photo ops. It is way cool of you to help me out, to show me how this works.
Oh, listen, glad to do it. You know, OS2 Warp is the first speech-enabled operating system ever. Let's dictate a response to the booking agent. Wake up, please. Jump to OS2 System Editor. Begin dictation. Email address, Mr. Jones, comma, new paragraph. We are delighted that you invited us to play New York City on our world tour, period. We look forward to a return engagement, period. New paragraph. Sincerely, new paragraph. Feedback. Stop dictation, comma.
Hey guys, come here. You gotta see this. It is way cool. He's talking to his computer.
All right. That's OS2 Warp, the first speech-enabled operating system. I can give it dictation, and I can navigate, I can surf the net with this thing. And that's on top of the great user interface, the application support for the new open applications, and all of the internet connectivity and local area network support built in. Are you talking to your computer yet?
Hey, what's that? Is that one of those emails?
Oh, it sure is. It's from the theater manager. He says there's a crowd gathering at the theater already. We better get back over there. Reply, we will be there in 5 minutes, period. Sincerely, feedback. Done. Send.
Way cool.
Okay, let's get going.
Totally.
Oh my, the tension is building. We are on our way to the gig in just moments, but before we get to the last of these 5 segments, I'm just remembering we shot that scene parked there in Times Square was at a time in 1996, as you could see on that antiquated-looking computer screen on in the segment, that it was not yet regentrified. That's the word, regentrified, and it was like it didn't quite smell like urine anymore, so that was good. It used to smell like urine there. It was like we were between 7th and 8th Avenue on 42nd Street. That's where we shot that, on the south side of the street, and everything was still kind of closed up. There was nothing. They hadn't turned it into Broadway yet, and all the nice things they turned it into. But they had some kind of fancy McDonald's there, I think. I don't know. I've never eaten there. But in any case, it was kind of interesting. And we were doing that photo shoot in the background. We were all really just having a lot of fun. It felt like the Monkees a little bit. And I remember that the guy with the kerchief on his head and the young lady there, they were really getting along quite well. I'm sure they hooked up. I just knew it. I just knew it in my bones that they were the ones hooking up from that thing. But anyway, I also want to say that that guy with the kerchief on his head was really funny. That guy was a great actor. They were all really good actors, really, really good. And really nice people all, especially that blonde fella. That guy, I remember him being like, he was the band leader in the piece, but he may have been a little older than us. Maybe he took on that sort of more mature, but he was just a perfectly nice guy, and I all of them, again, was a great experience all the way around. Well, and without further ado, let's just wrap up the entire piece. Here it is.
Fred, the whole town's excited about OS2 Warp. I want the exclusive.
I left out I missed the happily ever after part. I thought I came back too early. Well, now there's no way to jump to it. So I guess that's going to be a Tuesday teaser. Come back next week for what happens to the band. That's right. At the end, we show what everyone in the band goes on to do. Oh my goodness, it's very exciting. You'll have to tune in for that. And in fact, as I said, we're still getting our legs under us with this new format and with the new things we're trying. So feel free to let me know, either in the commenter section below, by telephone, by carrier pigeon if you wish. I always love getting the old carrier pigeon here in New York. They're filthy, but very informative. But however you'd like to let me know, I'd be very, very open to any thoughts you may have. After all, as I say, we're still trying to make things find our way. And in fact, with the reference that I made earlier with Saturday Night, back then it was called NBC's Saturday Night, only later becoming Saturday Night Live after its big success. Maybe I'll mention that story as to why when I do the big Saturday night show or two. But what I was going to say is it took them 4 shows. On the very fourth episode of Saturday Night, did they really find what really became what we've come to know as Saturday Night. So we've got a few shows to play with here, and we're going to do the best we can. Now it's time to check in to, where is it? Oh, here it is, to see what you wrote. All right, we're going to check in on the commenter section. I know I've been cheating and doing it all along, but I just couldn't help myself. That's what I'm used to doing. By the way, DMD, have a great night. You're on your way out. I know I said I'd keep it to 44 minutes and haven't been able to do it. But as I said, only the second show. We're going to figure out how to do that. We've only got a few more things left before we wrap up, and I'm sure we'll be doing so before the hour is out. So we're going to split the difference between 44 and 60, and you do the math. Are there any other new comments? Wish I had my Beetle Boots. We got to that. That's funny. I guess I got all these comments. Let me scroll back up and see, unless I lost everybody with that IBM stuff. But hey, you just try things out. After all, I've never shared that on a show like this before, and I wish I had more memories of the story, but it was great. In any case, all right, well, with that in mind, we are going to move on to bringing the show in for a landing, as I like to say. And in order to do that, we're going to share the Jablamo Pop Tune of the Day. Well, when I spoke with my friend Tone earlier, he gave me the idea that perhaps I should close the show with a set tune. And he loved the tune that I did last week. And you know, when I was doing these live streams through the spring and summer, I would close my morning program with Up and Adam, and as you may recall, opened those shows often with Art Official. Well, it's not going to be either of those tunes. The one I closed last week with that he thought would be a good one, even thematically to close with, I kind of concur. I think it's a concur word of the day.
Word of the day
is a tune I wrote probably back in 1997 or so. Not 1997. What am I saying? My mind is in the 90s from everything I shared earlier. Make that 2007. Maybe even 2005. I think I wrote this in about 2005. So this is a song I wrote that, especially with everything going on in our world and more specifically in our country, this is a song for all of us Americans and for all of us in the world too. It's called One Community.
Why can't we be one community? Why we always breaking in three? Why can't we be one community? I'm talking about you and me. Put down your dukes and pick up the pieces of your life. Put down the nukes and the gun, rope tongue, missile, bullet, knife. Why can't we be one community? Why we always break it in three? Why can't we be one community? I'm talking about you and me. The truth, there's harm in beatings round the bush. Don't turn me to sleuth, cause I detect bullshit when shove comes to push. Cause anyone is someone when there's someone there to need you. When you're the one who freed you all the while. Why can't we be one community? Why can't we be one community? Why can't we be one community? One community.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, but they're probably in bed, but you know what I mean. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I am really grateful to you. I really do appreciate it, and I do enjoy it, and we're going to keep going every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the rebroadcast will be available shortly after we finish tonight. In case you want to watch it 10, 15, 20 more times and go for the record, call the Guinness people. Okay. With that in mind, we're going to end up with our closing credits, and have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Take good care.